Hi, Alexandria. I just wanted to make a video to explain things and maybe send that along to you. Um, I'm going to recommend that you look at Module 2 again, a little two sections in there, and a section in Appendix C, Grammar. So in Module 2, if you look at section 2.02 called Thesis and 2.03 parallel structure and thesis statements. I think those will be really helpful. And also, if you look at seeing a active voice and C26 especially, parallel structure, those would be really helpful. And so what I wanted to suggest is that your thesis statement is such that you have a negative paired with a negative, like will not reduce, and sometimes you can turn that into a positive, but I don't know if that would work here. But let's just look at it more specifically. Stricter firearm restrictions will not reduce gun violence because, and then you've got three things basically that you're focusing, because people will still carry or still disobey the carry laws. Some research on that. And because background checks will still not be performed. Now that's actually in passive voice, so you might want to turn that around to be um, not liquor store. Weapons dealers will still not perform background checks effectively or something like that. And that's the problem with that one, is that it's longer and you've got it in passive voice, so it sort of uh, switches from, sorry about that, the other one, which is uh, it's future tense, and both of them are future tense, but the thing is, it's active voice in the first clause and passive in the second. And then the third clause is because licenses are not going to be required anyway unless they're concealed. Unless they're concealed means unless weapons are concealed. So that adds an extra qualification that the other two don't have. And so what you might want to do is just focus on those two things, the first two things, and then still throw in the last part as an extra of information that's the whole deal. In other words, that makes it even more ineffective for stricter firearm restrictions. But you might, if you don't have research to back that one up, and I don't think your sources say that. If I gotta look more carefully at the content of the sources, I haven't read them through completely. I just printed them out to look at them a little bit more carefully. And I think the first two are supported by the research you have, but the third is less so. So it's something to consider. And what you want to do is make the parts of the clauses that you're using for the reasons follow that parallel structure. And that really is partly what I was talking about in terms of it doesn't flow that smoothly, or it's a little clunky or something like that. And but you also want to make sure that they reflect or mirror the research that you have put together, that you've developed. Now, if you have other sources that do support that, then I take that back. So it depends on if you've gathered more sources on that. Since I don't know what's out there, I'm leaving it to you to determine that. But you'll still have to make them parallel. And so maybe you don't have to put that qualification in there in the thesis, but you do in the paragraph itself, perhaps. Maybe that's the way it works. So I hope this helps a little bit. Okay.